everyone, it's June again with Stamp with June. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from sunny Florida, and today I have a video on a fun fold card. All products I use are Stampin' Up. If you need more information about them, you could find that below this YouTube video. So we're going to start with a Swivel greeting panel card. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, I want to tell you how I am such a nut with fancy folds that I actually have a file of about 60 plus, okay? I have basic directions on how to cut layers for the cards and the cards themselves, and then I also have in each package of in each file, I have a template that I put in the back. And when I want to do the fancy fold, I take it out, and this will direct me along with the printed directions. And as I get used to them, all I have to do is refer to these for the measurements, and I could just look at the one that I've already done to keep on copying and making them into different creations. So I'm going to show you the Swivel greeting panel fold. This is my template. This is actually one that's already been completed. See how the greeting will swivel and open with the card. So let's get started. Okay. I want to start with a card base of 10 inches by 5.5 inches. Okay, that's 10 inches by 5.5 inches, and we're going to need to score that at 4 inches and 7 inches. So I'm going to slide this into my Stampin' trimmer that also has a scoring tool. I'm going to make sure the trimmer is out of the way. The lighter gray is the scoring marker. So I'm going to come down at 4 inches. It has an extending arm. I need to also score it at 7 inches. 7 inches, okay? So that's 10 inches by 5.5 inches scored at 4 and 7. The next step we want to do is fold the top inside out like so. So you're going to fold the card in half and then bring back the front panel. Okay, give it a little score. So that's how the card opens, but how do we get the greeting to swivel and open? Let's get started on that. What I've used for this is the Stitch Rectangle Dies by Stampin' Up. They're in the annual catalog, and I have used the second smallest and the first smallest of the rectangle dies. Stitch rectangle dies. I'm going to take out the second smallest and the smallest, put the rest aside. I'm going to take the card that I have folded. I need to use the cut and emboss machine. Let me get that up on the desk. And this, in case you're new to card making and new to products made by Stampin' Up, this is what you call a die cutting machine. Our name for it is the cut and emboss machine. It also does dry embossing on your cards to give a nice interest to the background. But what I want to do is take this card and open it up, but I want the front of it folded still. I still want to keep the front of it folded. So I'm going to open up the back part, put the double flap fold here. This is the front of the card. I'm going to take my second smallest die and put it in about halfway down below here, about halfway into the card itself. Now remember, this is the front, okay? Again, it's scored. We folded it in half, and then we folded the front flap back again. So we're going to open it. We do not want to die cut the back of the card, but we do want to die cut with the second smallest rectangle die, and we want to place it about halfway in. Could be a little more than half, but not much. Now I always find that this one I want to be very precise about it being straight. So I'll take my low-tech tape. That helps me keep my die on there while I'm rolling it through. So I want to make sure I have it straight. I could still feel that die moving, and I really don't want it crooked, because you'll see why. I want it in there straight, and I'm going to give it another piece of tape. It doesn't want to stick because it's low tack. Okay, I'm going to give that a run. Go through the die cut machine. Here we go. Wish me luck. Okay. I need luck just for the placement. I've used the machine many times before. It's a great little machine. Die cuts the wonderful dies that Stampin' Up! Has for sale. So I am taking that low-tack tape off. It cut out. See, it cut the fold of the card. And now when we open it, we have that nice opening that we're going to put our greeting for. So let me put away this stamp and cut machine. Actually, it's called cut and emboss because it cuts and embosses. So we have the card base now, and what we need to do is make a sentiment label. I'll show you this card so it's easier for you to see. We need to take this piece, this long rectangle, and a smaller rectangle to put the sentiment on. We need to attach that to the card. The measurements for this is well, we're not going to measure because we're using again, the second smallest rectangle label die, and I cut that out already. So we have that one cut out by that stitched rectangle die. And then I use the smallest stitched rectangle label to cut out where I am going to stamp the sentiment. And so that will go on top of there. And we need to get it in here and placed so that when we open it. So I'm going to have to stamp this first so that I could get that done with and know before I started hearing anything. I don't want to mess up on my stamping. So I am going to use 'Tis the Season from the Itty Bitty Greeting stamp set. This is a 2-set stamp set, and it comes with greetings for mostly every occasion. I get a lot of use out of it. They are itty bitty, so they can fit in many different spots on the card. So I'm using 'Tis the Season. I have that already. Sorry for throwing that. I'm a little rough when I do videos. So 'Tis the Season stamp. Let me get this stamped right on here. I'm going to stamp it towards the right-hand side because that's the side that's going to be showing. Okay, some of this is going to be covered on the left. So I'm going to stamp it towards the right-hand side. And there we go. Okay. I'm going to adhere that down with my stamping seal. There we go. We got some sticky on there. And I'll try to center that as best I can. Okay. I'm rubbing a little bit of adhesive off because I went a little far. This is called an adhesive eraser. It's a great little tool to get those extra little pieces of adhesive. You could get that at Amazon.com. Adhesive eraser. Okay, it's great to have if you do card making or scrapbooking. Let me close the stamp set. So we have our greeting, and we need to now attach it to the card base that we made with the opening from the die cuts. And what I'm going to do is turn it on the front. This is the front. So I want to place this inside here. So what I want to do is flip it around. I'm getting a little, yeah. Let's do it that way. Slip it in from the front of the card. Flip open the card. And what we need to do is adhere it just a little bit on this end. And we also want to look to see that it fits right into the rectangle we already cut out on the card base. Okay, so that fits great. I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to put some glue here, some liquid all-purpose glue. And I'm going to place my rectangle back inside the opening. Okay, so that when we have the front of the card, it now swivels the greeting. How's that? Okay, I will now put design series paper on it to give it some nice color. I have a strip here, which is 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. I'm going to put that on the inside, but also it's actually the part that shows on the outside. So let me adhere that to the card base on the inside, outside. And so yeah, I have at least 60 of these fun folds, and I'll show you in a minute my whole system, how I store them. And I always have a template associated with it that I keep in the file package. Then we have the panel that goes on the front. This is 3 1/2. This is one layer, 3 1/2 by 2 3/4. I have a designer series paper designer series paper, and I measured that at 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. I'm going to adhere that right down. This is going to go on the front, top front of the card, like so. That's going to get placed right up here on the top of the card. Okay, so there is that. And I just realized this card's going to be a little plain because I did not take the time to cut any dies out for, I would like to put a red wreath right here. I do have a red wreath on this one with some greenery, but the basic card, I'm not going to sit here and cut 3 different poinsettias out to show you what I do, but we have a great poinsettia petal set. It comes with a set of dies. I'll show you the dies. They have from large, medium, small to tiny. So for this one, I used the 2 tiny ones and I layered them twice, and I put it here just to give it some interest. So, but this is exactly the same card. So that's how you do the swivel greeting panel card. If you'd like to see more about it, I'm going to have written instructions, the written measurements on my blog, stampwithjune.com. I will put the link below this video, and you can find, like I said, the measurements, and you will find also this YouTube video again. So I just want to show you real quick. I said I had 60 fun fold cards. By the way, this is Friday. Friday is fun fold day. So maybe next Friday we'll do another fun fold. If I could keep up with it, we'll do fun fold Friday, because I have enough fun folds for at least 60 weeks. So here is my box of fun folds. It's a file box, and I have all these sheets of fun folds. Each one has a template in the back. I put notes and measurements on it. So when I want to do one, I take one out and I find it very easy. Everything's right at my fingertips, all the measurements. I don't have to go searching through YouTube for them. So I hope you liked this video. I'm sorry I didn't really fuzzy up this card with different elements, but you could imagine what you could do. I put rhinestones. So you have a good day, and we will see you next week on Fun Fold Friday Day. You take care now. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Bye-bye.